doing a lot of things that were wrong. I'd see this big white sheet of paper, and I would just couldn't wait to get that paint down there. I never put any thought process behind it or design process behind it. And I think those are the bones of your painting, to make it a successful painting, so that when you see a painting up on the wall, what makes you go to that painting? There's got to be some format behind it, so it's not just a bunch of mush. And I see that, and I've seen it in galleries all over. Now I can, see it. You'll see great paintings, but there's no design concept behind them. And I think I think what I did one year, I decided I was going to study color and the dynamics of color and its opposites and how it works. And I bought some books like this. And that year I just studied, I made color my primary thing to learn. And then another year I did composition. And every year I did something else. And I think I've become a better painter because of it, because I've got more technical about what I do. I don't just slap things down. I do a little sketch. I kind of figure out where I'm going to put my darks, my lights. And there has to be some kind of balance between artistic creation and technicality. Because if it's all technical, it's not going to be an attractive painting. If it's all, fluff, it's not going to stand up. So I brought some books today for everybody just to kind of help themselves and look at them, and if you want to write the ISBN numbers down, things that have really helped me. And I took a class in Mexico with this lady, Mary Todd Beam, and this is a great book. But she was a regular painter, and then she just went off on the deep end, and she's done some beautiful stuff. But she explains in this book very, very simply composition. Like here, she has high horizontal in a vertical painting, high horizontal in a horizontal painting, and how she designs it and how it comes about. Low horizontal, low horizontal, horizontal. The esker, which happens a lot with seascapes and different things. The grid system. I mean, they're not all here. The circular and the cruciform.
Do you use the grid system on everything?
No. What does it say? Strata? Yeah. And you probably all know all this. I mean.
Yeah, well, that's his work.
But
See the page.
but I think that, just look at this book. It's a great book. Different techniques. We learn so many different techniques, but she explains a lot of things in this book that are just very basic, and that I never followed for many years, and I just screwed up because of it. So.
How much does the book cost?
I think it was like $25. 17. Oh no, 20.
Wow, that's reasonable.
28, $29.
Because Liz James has a new book that's spiral.
Yeah, this is a good
It's a
book.
good idea.
So, and then I've taken some classes with Bob Burridge lately, and he's a very crazy abstract painter. This is the kind of thing that he does. But I love colors. So, and I think when you do this, you go to I used to think abstract painters were just a bunch of poppycock, but you try and paint abstract paintings and make them look like something, you really got to know what you're doing. And I think what it does, you flip-flop from abstract back to reality. It helps each other, because you have to know your colors. You've got to have some format of design there. So when you start painting landscapes or seascapes or whatever, or florals, you have to follow through with that. So does that help everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would it be possible, would you trust us to just start it like this?
Yeah, I just said that's what I said, just bring them in, and you just help yourself. Another one I've loved is this one by Edward Betts, Masterclass in Water Media. This is a great book. I love all the old California landscape painters, especially Edgar Payne. And this was an expensive little book, like $50 for this tiny little thing, but he is, I think, one of the best, you know him, don't you? You Sam? Yeah, I love his stuff. And then this was Perfect Color Choices for Artists. This is another one that's a great book. It's got stuff all over it, but a book on color like you've never seen before. And then of course there's what is it? These books that are The Art Spirit by Robert Henry, and Art and Fear that I picked up in Mendocino. I think, you just got to look at it. When I first started out, oh my God, I'm going to mess it up, Yeah, of course you're going to mess it up. But you've got to try, I may mess this up. You may not get anything out of me today.
Barbara, would you mind passing?
Yeah, just take.
No, but the first book, especially on the composition.
Oh, yeah.
Give it to the first person.
Well,
pass
why don't
it
you just
around the
take,
whole-
this book is another good book too. This Burridge's book has everything in it, and
Also spiral.
yeah, a great book. When you go into his class, he has all these things. Yeah, you got permission to mess up. Yeah, you can. Oops, so I'll pass them through you. There you go.
Dear, is Sarah Broderick in some of your classes in Mendocino?
No.
I know she goes down there quite a bit.
She maybe takes more normal classes than me. I take all the crazy.
Normal.
There's that one. There is this one.
Where do you find your abnormal classes?
It's down in Mendocino.
And they have a wonderful mailing list. You should make
I don't know,
that part of the
Mendocino's a
book.
little far from my budget. I guess I'll have to create abnormal here.
Yeah, you do it here. Why not? But these are some brochures from Mendocino. And then magazines, the International Artist, American Art Review, and all these. And then there's some books some painters that I just love. Impressionists of California, early, got those down in Laguna Beach. And then I came across this one, Arthur and Lucia Matthews. Does anybody know of these guys? In the 20s, they rebuilt. He designed a lot of San Francisco after the earthquake when they lost San Francisco. But beautiful colors. Look, they're just gorgeous paintings. So you're welcome to just, help yourself and look at these beautiful books. So just pass them through. You want to look or? It's a heavy one. And there's, I think I picked this one up in Scottsdale, A Sorrow. He's, he taught in Pasadena, but a California, modern California impressionist, but beautiful colors, And, I don't think there's anything hard, as long as you're not selling your works. Sometimes I'll just copy things just to get, ideas, so they're all up here for you to look at, so I'll get going, huh? So I know you guys have been painting landscapes, right? Yeah? With Tom, because he was just, not Tom, with John, because he was just here. So I thought I'll do kind of a florally one. So what I did, I get ideas from different things. This was a magazine, a garden magazine. I love flowers. So I'm going to work on this one and try and do something like this, but with my own ideas behind it. And this is what I do. I just take it on a little piece of paper, and I drew this as my son will be up today. But what I did, I took, I think part of what I saw in the flower here, and I expanded it more as my own design. So I think that's what you have to do. You've got to put your own free kind of in there. So, and then this is, I always keep this with me so I don't go crazy. And keep to a limited palette, which is easy to do today because I left it at home. And I work wet a lot. smelly Indian paper you don't like. So. But I like it because I get 200-pound paper.
What is it made of that gives off the odor that other papers don't have?
I don't know. It's made in India.
Sprinkle curry powder.
It's cheaper than the other, but I like it for florals because it is very irregular. And I bought.
Where do you get it, Tim?
I think I got this at Daniel Smith. We're taking a collage class next week. That'll be fun. I think collage helps too because sometimes when you're not used, you don't know what to do with a painting. I took this class with this lady, Louise Cadillac, and she helped me a lot because she would take a strip of paper, say if you had a painting, like I have a big orange flower at home and I don't know quite what to do with it. Is it finished, is it not? So she would, like to me, it's too much of one color in the middle. So I thought, well, maybe I need something darker, but I don't really want to put that big darker piece in there in case I screw the painting up. So what she would do is tear pieces of paper and lay them down and then look at them at a distance. And if you think, oh, that's better, yeah, I do need to do that, then you haven't messed up your painting, so that's a great idea. So and these are the paints I use. I get a lot of paints from Daniel Smith because they are good paints, expensive, but these are the quinacridone, so. You guys are awfully quiet.
May I tell a 20-year-old anecdote about you?
Yeah, do.
You and I were taking a class from Dr. Hewitt, John Hewitt, and he took us way over on the far side of Lake Earl.
Right.
And he did a very nice watercolor. I admire him terrifically. But this student on my left just did a lights-out tree, so vivid and so fabulous. And I thought, I like that tree better. So I put that, your tree,
Oh, yeah?
in my watercolor, and I put two little horses in the field to the right, and that's one of my favorite watercolors.
Oh, good.
Out of Barbara Kennedy trees.
I love painting. I like to play music and.
What do you do, instrument?
Huh?
Oh.
I don't play. No, I don't play. But
Oh, okay.
I love to listen to music, and my dad used to be like that too. He would. He loved classical music, so we'd often wonder, we wouldn't think we were in heaven with all this stuff he used to play on his
Your
organ.
father painted as well?
No, he was not a painter. He was he loved to play. Not play. Well, he did. He played the harmonica and different things. But he was a gardener.
What's the brush you're using?
It's silver, black velvet. Robert Simmons, I think. Is it Robert Simmons? No, I think this is Daniel Smith.
What's that picture on the far left called?
Which one? I don't have a name for that. It looked like a peacock for a while.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Somebody was talking about intuitive painting, like, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, like you paint a picture and you feel like you never had any part in it. I was like, so same like John was, soft edges, hard edges. And I often don't finish paintings right away. I'll work on them and let them dry, and I'll go back to them.
You have several paintings going at one time then?
Yeah. Not today. That would be far too stressful. Karen came over this morning and I was looking for my watercolors and I thought I had them in this box, but they weren't there. I don't know where they are.
Where is your studio in your home? What
Well,
exposure do you have?
We have a big barn, a huge barn, and because I'm a pretty messy painter, and I do a lot of large acrylic canvases.
How big are your acrylic large? What's large for you?
Oh, big.
Yeah.
5 by 5.
Yeah.
Bigger than that. I started, you know, because we put this big expansion in our house, but it still is, I had it all over the floor. We put a new marble floor in and I have paint all over it, so I thought, oh, I've got to move in the barn, I can't do this, so.
But it comes right off the marble, doesn't
It
it?
did, it just wiped right out. And I had drop cloths down and everything, but I thought, I can't do this.
But do you really go out to the barn to paint? Don't you feel isolated out there when you
No,
rather
I
be at your
like
kitchen
to be
table?
isolated.
Oh, okay.
I'm just,
Do you have good light out there?
yeah, we have terrible lights. I just opened the door. Well, you know, if you look in that Robert Burge book, he has a barn and the cows come in, you know? You seen that one? There's a picture in that book of him painting the studio, and there's a big cow coming through the door, you know?
He's that manicky kind of artist that does things real fast.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's interesting.
And I kind of use a lot of paint, I'm terrible. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go straight in and...
Do you put your paint out fresh each time?
No, it's just because I left my palette somewhere. How can you come to a demonstration with no palette? Good Lord.
In weather like this, how long does it take for your paints to dry?
Well, on a sunny day, some of those paintings were, you know, dry right away. If you're out on location in on a hot beach, it's miserable. They just, they dry right away.
What was the kind of weather we've had recently, the last 2 months?
Well, it depends if I'm painting wet on wet or if I'm painting just dry, you know, but I usually paint wet on wet, so that's why I flip from place to place, you know. So, this is probably what I would call my first wash, you know.
That one looks like a fairy being born.
Where? Oh,
Your left
there?
one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, you could call it that.
Do you ever do oral demos?
You know, I don't do many demos. Can't you tell? I'm busy. I don't have much time to do this.
That's what your husband told me.
What did he say?
He said, my wife doesn't do demos, and I didn't, I thought, this is not the time to argue, because you'd already agreed to do it.
Oh, because, did you call back or something?
No, I just, I just assumed that you knew and I knew.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
Our tape.
Our Greta knows when to shut up.
Chuck,
Chuck,
the screen's gone.
No, I think the tape might be to the end.
Yeah, the videotape.
Need another copy and another
They talk too much then.
Not at
that
all, if
one's
you
a
only,
6-hour tape, it should.
I know.
I think it's after so many minutes it goes off and you have to turn it off and turn it on again.
So this is why you have to stand up, because, you know, you've got to step back and look at it, because see where you're going. I tend to, I'll start out with simple shapes and I'll start to make more shapes that I need. And then I've got to go back in again and simplify it again, because I've got too much stuff going on. So,
Would you like us to hold it up there for you and you come
oh
back
no,
here?
it's going to drip all over because it's wet, really wet.
No, it's not.
No,
No, it's all, no, it's just.
Don't you have to touch the remote?
I think it's something on the camera.
There you
There
go.
it goes.
it's back, Charles.
Thank you.
Smart, I saw him do it earlier.
Oh.
I hit record.
We'll just continue.
By the way, Charles, that's a great angle that you've got. This is very nice.
Oh, thank you, Greta. I got the tripod all on 2 legs.
Are you doing this intuitively or not really thinking about it?
Oh, I'm just playing around here. I mean, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some other colors in after, but I need to get this dry first. And this is where, if I was at home, I'd probably be painting on a couple more. So I'd leave this alone and let it do its thing, and then go on to another one.
Yeah.
You know? Because what you do is, you do what I'm doing now, you just keep going in and messing around and probably screw it up, you
Do any of these colors that you're using stain? Even though
know?
they're not
No, these are
supposed to?
translucent. These are all transparent watercolors. And I like, you know, I know a lot of people that, oh, they don't like blooms in the paintings and when the water drips, and I'll sometimes just move, that's why I just like to keep things loose, because I'll just let it flow. And I like the effects that I get from that.
Did you mention your gallery up in Brookings?
No, well, you know, I'm not a big part of that because I'm busy all the time. Dashanka is the one that started it, and she's an abstract painter. You know Dashanka?
I do.
And so I help out a little bit, you know, but she's the one who pretty much does everything and takes care of it.
What is Destiny's role in
Oh,
gallery?
Destiny is great. Destiny takes care of things because we both are working girls, so she's there most of the time, just, you know, taking care of it.
But your gallery is,
Abstract only.
well, hers are very muted grays and blacks,
Yeah.
and then yours are these vivid
Right.
colors, so it's a very happy accident that you.
Destiny does some wonderful things, and she, all those little tiny things that
Insects.
she does with the bugs and everything, so,
Insects, my dear.
insects, not bugs. And,
Yeah, everything Destiny does is cool.
yeah, she's a cute girl.
But anyway, your gallery is right next door to John, and,
Well, it was with John and Maureen.
It was John's.
no, I don't mean John, who's the Giclée guy right next door?
Joe T.
Joe Tanini.
Oh, I mean, Signatures Gallery.
Yeah, signatures.
So Signatures is on the corner of 101,
Right.
and then you're next, aren't you?
Yeah.
Little South.
signatures have got, what we're gonna do this, that's why we've been so busy, is put in something together for, I don't know if anybody here knows Tom Farmer. He was,
Oh, we do.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he's,
He's
I
in
mean,
Coos Bay now, right?
well, he passed away, he just passed away.
That's
Um,
news to everybody, we
Yeah.
didn't know.
Well, I had called when I came back from Mendocino, because we were gonna put a show together for him, and I called them, and, because he'd had a show up in Reedsport, and it, you know, he just passed away like about 3 days before, so he'd been sick with, cancer. We knew that when he went up there, but. So we're gonna put a show together of Tom's work, and,
Do
Tom's
you know what month that will be?
next month in August. In fact, I'm gonna go down tonight and we're gonna take we had a lot of, the Portland women that, brought all their work down, so they're gonna take that back and we're gonna put Tom's stuff up, so all of it will not be up until, probably the end of next week, so.
Do you know
So-
Andrea Mastrangelo? She did a lot of
Yeah,
shows with
yeah.
Tom. Does she know?
I'm sure she does, yeah, through Cricket. And he had a show up in Reedsport, and I think we're gonna go and get some of those paintings and bring them down, some of his latest work, and then we have some of his older stuff.
Would it
so-
start around the 1st of August or
We'll
is
start,
that?
yeah, the gallery, most of it will be up by the time the gallery art walk is, that's in, the second Saturday, so.
And we are trying to organize a bus trip to see
The fourth
fresco painter
Saturday.
on the 18th.
Which painter?
There's a fresco, her name is Kelly
At the Biscuit Building.
something or other. And she'll be she's doing a demo on the 18th from 7 to 9.
We'll have to write that, the 18th?
The 18th, and that's also the weekend of the big art festival down in the harbor.
Yeah.
So we thought
Mingle
of a
Beach?
bus that
No,
would take us,
Brookings.
so we'll
Oh, in
make a
Brookings.
point of
Oh.
stopping and seeing Mr. Farmer's on our way.
Yeah, so we'll make sure we're open that day. Sunday?
Saturday,
Oh, yeah, we're open on a Saturday.
how late?
So, till about 6.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
do that. We'll
Yeah.
see the harbor
But we'll-
first, and we'll stop by and see your
Yeah.
gallery. It'll be in your gallery, right?
Yeah, because I'm gonna put a lot of my own personal stuff, because we bought a lot of stuff from Tom. Because Tom would do, he'd sometimes do 100 paintings of one subject, you know, so he did Madonna and Child, and the Family, and all those different ones, and I know a lot of people,
Did he affect your work?
no, I wish he could have done, but he would never help me, you know, I think, no. I wish I could, I don't think I have it in me. You know how those figurative paintings that he did, just have so much emotion in them, and I don't think I'm that clever.
How many galleries represents his work besides in San Francisco?
Well, he was in the Crocker Museum in Sacramento, I think, and, all over, I think. A friend of mine is writing an article about him right now to put in the papers, so he shows where he would, you know, was showing his pieces. So, he was all over, because he was down in San Francisco for the longest time. Now, the trouble about watercolor is you can't go into it too soon because you're going to ruin it.
Or do you have your hair dryer?
No.
Does your gallery have a hair dryer?
Her shop.
That was a carol. Like I'm not ready for a carol. Did you hear the awful joke Pat made?
Oh, don't repeat it.
See, I don't think Tom was a painter for the public eye. He was more of a artist painter, I don't know.
He had some beautiful things on exhibit at that lovely gallery in Port Orford where that
Yeah.
lady did the Saturday
Yeah.
soirees or the Sunday soirees. What was the name of that gallery?
I don't know.
What is that blue you're using?
This is manganese blue. Peacock blue. No, it's manganese.
I won't say it. You have a dentist's office upstairs? Or do you have
Chipmunks.
These are gonna mess this up. Whoops, I'm just gonna go over that after.
Too bad. Okay, that's, yeah. You would not let that dry a little more before you.
Oh, yeah, I would normally, but I'm trying to get on with this because you guys gotta be patient, huh? I'll just go over it. I'll just kind of get an idea of what I'm doing and then I'll paint over it.
What colors do you favor in your living area, in your home? What are your...
It's everything's beige.
So it complements all your paintings?
Yeah, because I have a lot of paintings in my house. I don't know, you know, when you start painting and you go to so many classes and you listen to so many people and you can be going 20 years later and you finally go, oh yeah.
That's what they meant.
I think that's true. So what I would think with this painting, I think it's more of a radial, you know, design. And that's the way I'm taking it. So it'll go this way, it'll go this way, it'll go this way, and it'll go this way.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
What do people paint down here more?
Abstract.
Abstract?
I had 3 at the gallery, but they didn't sell. And they were in the hallway.
Yeah,
'cause-
I remember. Well, don't worry, don't feel bad. I've got plenty up there.
Well, my ego wants to get more in there.
Oh.
And she's my therapist, so I see her every 2 weeks.
Oh, good.
She says, just go big. She says, go 5 feet by 5 feet.
I have all my friends are therapists, so well, they always want therapy from me, never mind. I go, how come that all my friends end up being psychotherapists? It's like, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Maybe not.
I go, ooh, that's a scary thing.
Well, such a coincidence. My sister, a Scientologist, sent a book called Psychiatry, An Industry of Death.
Oh,
I carried it in because I said, whoa, the title just kind of blew me away.
I'm terrible. I use watercolor like oil paint.
And what do you mean by that exactly?
Thick.
No,
Really?
they're cutting men.
Sounds like it's awesome.
Down in the shipyard.
It's beginning to dry. We should have started and then had lunch and then come.
Yeah, I know. I worked on that one started.
When you add gold to your pictures, like that one that looks like a lotus flower.
Oh, yeah.
What is that oil or what medium is that gold that you put in?
I think those were interference paints, weren't they?
I don't know. All I know is it looked like a lotus flower and it's $1,200.
Yeah, I sold it.
I've been lusting after that one for months.
Well, I made it
Pay
pretty.
attention to this woman, she sells.
She sells.
I sold it, I think it went to a medical building in Klamath Falls. That's where it went. But I took it over to Joe and he made a copy for me. So I will have some giclées of that. Because that was a beautiful painting,
Yes.
wasn't it?
I've been in love with that one at first sight.
All those paintings I did in Mexico I sold, so that was good. I'll have to go back.
Take us with you.
Yeah.
Well, Barbara Nietzsche's is painting in Acapulco with,
Whoa.
what is it? Flying Colors, I think. You know, Bob Burridge, well, we made this wheel, it's in the book, but this is a different wheel than you would normally use. And there, I had a little triangle, so you would have a primary color, a secondary color, and then complementary. So, you know, so if I'm using violet as my primary color, then I would go to green as my opposite, and then orange
Could you
and
put that right down here while you're doing it? It would show
yeah,
on
orange
it would
and
show on
purple.
the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Okay, so say with this painting, if it's like a pink violet base, then I would go to green as my opposite, and then orange and purple as my accents. This is a great color wheel. I never used it before. So when you've got a painting like this and you're looking at it, well, I'm going totally away from what I was going to do. So, you know, it's good to go back to this. So I know I've got purple in there, I've got orange in there, I've got pink, but I have no green. So if the green, sorry, there it is.
Yeah.
So if the green will be the one that will punch it out. So, you know, it's good. My son, Peter, where is he? He's out there, probably bored to death. But we bought a new camera, and he would take a photograph of the work and then put it on the big screen on the TV, and I'd go, oh my God, yeah, isn't it great to do that with? Because then you can see what it needs, you know. So I need green.
I'll give him one more look at this.
I find more and more that I paint more abstract now than I paint realistically, you know. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It just is.
Yeah. I used to always be very loose painter, but so who bought John's painting of the lighthouse that day?
Carmen,
Oh, you're the lucky girl.
Yes, I am.
she had to fight for it.
I know, Karen wanted it, but she had bought so many, he wouldn't let her have it.
That's right.
Isn't that the oddest thing? You'd think he would have rewarded her for being such a good customer. He said, no, I can't take any more of your money. Carmen gets it.
Wow.
She bought so many, you know. Don't you hate to waste the color when it costs so very much money?
That's why you do 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Is there a copy of this picture of the lighthouse? I would have liked to have seen it, I missed it.
A copy of what?
How you did that thing of the lighthouse.
Oh, you can just go to Carmen's and see. You don't have
You can see the original, Miriam.
Did you make tea?
Whatever you like.
See, I'm not a fast painter. I kind of take my time, and That's why it's so hard to do a demo, because I'll come back to it over and over again, so.
Well, no one here is complaining, I like.
Nobody's
Alright.
complaining.
Because I do think it's an intuitive process, you know?
And do your oils go any faster?
Yeah, sometimes.
So you can paint a 5x5.
Well, I painted that little one really quickly, you know? Only 15 minutes, because, you know, we have critique down there, and we have to get our act together, because we have to have something to produce to be critiqued, you know, so.
Oh, what are you doing that for, your critique?
Oh, and we go down to, you know, Mendocino when they have that.
Oh, yeah, Albion, with
Albion.
Dr. Hewitt.
Yeah, so you've always got to have something ready for critique. We had some teachers from Yosemite one time that came down. They weren't very good, and they put paper bags over their heads and come down. Put little faces on the paper bags, you know. I'll tell you while I'm dabbling around here. When we took that, I went with Deshanka to Mexico to Louise. It was Louise Cadillac and Mary Todd Beam, and they taught us some great tricks, and so did Robert Burridge. But I think Burridge was the first one to show me. But what they did was, instead of like we've always painted with transparent watercolor and just purest, I would say, you know, you wouldn't use even white. These girls didn't do anything by the rules. So what they did was take the paper and cover it, well, I think Burridge was the first one when I did that, with the watercolor paper, cover it with acrylic medium and water. Do you guys do that?
Not yet.
Well, you will be.
Okay.
Cover paint your painting with acrylic medium and water, and just let it dry and paint over it with watercolor or with acrylic. And then when you get a painting so far, you know, you can wipe it out because you've got the acrylic underneath it. So if you mess up, you can just wipe it out. And then let it dry completely, and then, you know, very gently wipe over with acrylic medium, you know, for 50-50 mix. And so if you get it to a point where you don't want to ruin it, you can cover it with acrylic medium and water, let it dry, go back and paint over it. You mess it up, you just wipe it up, but you've still got your original painting underneath.
Will it wash? Can you get a wash when you have that?
Oh yeah, you can get a wash, but you know, once you've sealed it, you can't go beyond that. But I found it was great because you just can go so much further. And these girls don't follow the rules; they do what they want. You know, they're just put it as mixed media. So you're not in a transparent watercolor category. You're in mixed media, so you can pretty much do anything you want. And then what was I going to say? Oh, and Mick told us when I was on this conversation on Sunday when I called him about Tom, he said he just goes to the hardware store and he buys where they have tiles, a 2.5 gallon of acrylic mortar mix, and it's just the same for half the price, quarter of the price. So
Say that again. What were you replacing with what?
he buys
2.5 gallons or something.
acrylic mortar mix, you know, for tiles, acrylic mortar mix.
And then you use that as a wash?
Use it to seal the paintings.
As opposed to the 50/50, right?
Yeah, because it's already diluted, right? Yeah.
Motive seal.
Yeah.
Instead of paying Daniel Smith.
Like the grout sealers.
Yeah,
And that doesn't lift up the paint underneath it when you lay that over?
No, it's got to be dry before you paint over it. But you just take a soft wash brush, well, not a good watercolor brush like that, and just very gently, it's got to be completely dry, but just lay it over, and then let it dry. And if you're gentle, you won't move any of your paint. So, pretty good.
Do you ever do sculpture or just, you just
Oh,
paint?
no. Does anybody teach sculpture down here?
Mary.
The one person that does sculpture here in town doesn't teach anything, and that's the guy on South 101 that does those cool sculptures to the left on the way to Klamath.
Oh, right.
Because I've asked, do you teach classes? Can I watch you work? And he said, no.
The other person
No.
who might teach sculpture is Doris Winger. She does ceramics, but she sculpts in ceramics.
Yeah. Well, Mendocino have a great, you know, lots of different things in their class, but they're so far away to go. Keep going down there. Wish we had something like that. Do you remember when we used to have that place here that did all the workshops?
75 workshops a year.
Wow.
And Doris Dahlbeck was the curator, director, whatever.
That's when I first came and I couldn't afford to go to any, so.
I know, there were 300, 500,
Yeah.
$600.
We used to call her the big boss.
Still call it big boss.
Yeah.
So is this helping any?
Yes.
There's only one answer.
And that vivid color in the middle isn't in any tube, you mix that.
No, it was Benzimida orange.
You got the shape of the Crescent City Harbor in there.
I do?
You sure do. You're channeling Crescent City.
Doing that, huh? I think what Barbara Nietzsche's does is a lot of, what do they call it? When you, negative painting.
That's what it should have been.
I like your painting a barrel in a row at the chart room.
Barbara, does the paper settle back down when it's dry, or?
Yeah, well, I probably should have stapled it, but I just will lay something on it heavy and it'll go back. Aren't you guys bored?
Wow. This is exciting.
Not at all bored.
For next year, Barbara,
What?
would you like to do one of these wee quickies?
Yeah.
Yeah, a wee quickie, yes.
Wee quickie.
A wee quickie.
I don't think I can do much more on this till it dries.
I'm waiting to see the other newspaper. Barbara will do a week with it.
A wee quickie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So simple, so beautiful.
Yeah, so you'll have to come down and see Tom's stuff. And
Definitely.
Well, I hope all of you will sign up. If I don't get, 25 people, the bus won't go.
I'll go.
Okay? And it's for the 18th. We'll leave from here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And look what we're going to get for our money. We'll stop at the art festival in the harbor. That's 100
what day is
booths.
that? What day is it?
The 18th of August.
Is a
Saturday night.
Saturday?
All the
Saturday.
money should be prepaid by about the 10th or something.
How much is
Okay.
the money?
It's $25.95 or something like that. If I get 25, I'll be very happy. Let's call it 25.
Check my
Get all that
finances.
done in just a late afternoon?
We're leaving here at 2, we get there at 3. Don't you think 2 hours to run up and down those booths? 100 goes is enough time.
Yeah.
And then you can either relax there at the harbor and eat something there, or we can go up to Gold Beach and eat something there.
Or
And-
eat at both places.
Or eat at both places with tea in between. I mean, you know, it's a fun bus.
And then that lady is doing a demo?
Well, I think if,
Don't move, I'm gonna grab my purse.
excuse me, may I interject? If the Curry Arts Association is doing this for their annual meeting, and if you aren't members of the Curry Art Association, and by all means it's open to the public, I think Ted Watkins would appreciate it a great deal if you would have a bite at his coffee shop. Because, you know, it's kind of slow.
Oh, you mean the biscuit?
Yeah.
Well, they just have sweets and great coffee.
They
So
have
maybe-
soup.
Maybe we can have our
They have
dessert there.
soup, and
Muffins, stuff.
if, yeah, and they have a girl that helps who's a great caterer. If you had any interest, I can talk to him and perhaps they could arrange a light bite for you. But I'm going to just check to make sure there's room. How many do you need on the fun bus?
25.
He does put seating outside the main room, and I think they have speakers now. But you must realize the members of the Curry Arts are going to be out in force. So,
Should walk to Grants
they're never open.
on Saturday.
Are you calling Curry Arts the Pelican Bay people?
Not at all.
They're different people.
Right.
Okay.
Curry
That's Gold
Arts
Beach,
is
isn't
Gold
it?
Beach and probably Port Orford, Brookings, Langmoy.
Gotcha. Very good, Chuck. Isn't that marvelous?
He's doing a stellar job. Is he getting the retirement benefits and health care,
Quarters.
just like the previous?
No, hazardous pay is all.
Yeah,
And all the chips and dip he can eat.
Right.
there you go. Makes it worthwhile.
And all these videos are here for members to buy and enjoy.
You also got hip bones in there. You've got hip bones with the.
Oh, I wish you hadn't said that. I see them so clearly.
They're like not from the skeleton.
Okay, I think I'm as done as I'm gonna be here, because I'm gonna have to think about this some more.
Guess how you'll get this home?
Huh?
How are you gonna get this in your car?
Very carefully.
Just carry it.
Has your son assisted you before?
No, I think he came the last time, didn't he, when I came before? Somebody came. I think he did.
I think you were all by yourself. But that was like 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
He wasn't born.
He was. I think he did come.
He may not have been assisting,
He was in a carrier at the time.
He came.
observing.
Because I think he helped me. Came down. Maybe it was the other one.
How old is he?
He's 15.
He was only 1 year old.
Maybe it was Andrew. So I have to take this home and look at it and think about what I'm gonna do, because it's gotta dry some more before that's why when I work, I just can't get it all done. But you can't get anything in watercolor like you can't get anything in any other medium like you get in watercolor. Because what I'll probably do is lay washes over washes, transparent washes over washes, so. The lady we're taking the class with next week is Edie Lapasona, and she's a member of the Literary Society. And,
Do you go down there and stay a week?
yeah, yeah. So she, I don't really know much of her, but she's doing collage, so we'll see. But
Well, thank you so much. This has been just a while.
I'll bring it back for you and you can have a look at it when it's done.
And you sell your paintings, you sell the copies of the paintings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
Apply for art, I suppose.
Oh, some at the house, some at the gallery, some at the salon, you know. I think I sold quite a few this summer. Sold about 5 or 6, I think, so.
And where did you display these gigantic oils?
Well, they're acrylics.
Acrylics.
Acrylic, at the gallery.
I've never seen them at your gallery in Brookings.
No, because I haven't gone there yet. There's one on the easel.
Is there another gallery that we should know about?
Down there, they have a list of all the galleries in that area.
Oh, you mean in Albion? You
Oh, in Albion, are you talking?
No, I'm asking where we can see your big oils.
Well, I haven't finished them yet. They're all in the Eye for Art, but they won't be there because we're gonna put Tom's stuff up all over, so.
Do you have enough room to keep the unfinished ones so that you keep them in mind? I have to shove stuff under the bed when I have too many.
Yeah, we do, but, you know, we have that big barn, but the trouble is putting things in the barn, we get mildew and.
Yeah.
So we can't do that.
And spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
So I won't go near my studio anymore.
Yeah.
And that's up in her bedroom. there's
Barbara, is that dry enough to actually hold it up?
No,
Okay.
it isn't. It's
But
gonna
you
be-
can you carry it over there? Oh, you,
That's okay.
No.
I do that all the time, so. Don't worry about it.
There it goes.
It's all part of it, yeah.
Beautiful.
that's how it comes uniform.
That is.
Whoa, look at that.
Happy accident.
Wow.
Nature paintings.
Yeah.
So probably this is just the base of the painting, you know, and then it'll just expand.
Have you ever tried to do a demo using this glaze, this acrylic glaze to keep the watercolor,
No, I've never done a demo. I just learned it at the workshop that I went to, so. But you can, yeah, I mean, I think in that Robert Burridge book, it may have some information in there. And certainly in that book that, what is she called?
isn't that wonderful?
Mary Todd Beam.
We all can, we do it. Not yet, have no fear.
Not yet.
Do you know David Coffin in Brookings?
No.
Okay, he taught at the College of the Redwoods last year. He taught digital imaging and a drawing and a painting class, but he brought in Robert. The man is just a whole wealth of videos, and he introduced us all to Robert Burridge.
Oh, yeah.
Is Robert Burridge from the area?
No, he lives in Arroyo Grande, according to his book.
Royal
It's near
Grande.
Pismo Beach.
Pismo, gotcha.
But he's been teaching down in Mendocino quite a bit, you know, so I think the year that we went was the first year that he had taught there.
And there, besides Burridge, who else mentions that technique? You gave a lady's name.
Louise Cadillac, Mary Todd Beam. Louise Cadillac.
Are they both the same person?
No.
Mary Todd Beam?
Mary Todd Beam.
Oh my goodness.
She's from Carolina. You know, a lady who's really, really good to take from is, I don't know what is her name.
Nita Engel.
Probably, yeah, her too. But there's, I went over to Ashland to take from her. And she was, what is her name? Carla O'Connor. Oh my God, she was like president of the Watercolor Society. She teaches all over. She's a dynamic teacher. Makes you work your butt off. But you come away knowing and learning things, you know.
Where does she live?
Carolina or south.
So I can't have her over for him.
Well, she came out to Ashland.
The big brush.
One of the ladies there was doing that. So now it's turned from a pink paint into a kind of a blue painting. On that second wash, so.
How will the color change as you keep going? Does the, you need a longer cord.
Well, that was a good idea. I think it has.
So what were you saying, how was the what?
Does the color lighten as it dries?
Lighten, yeah, it'll lighten. But, you mean, how does the color change when you lay the, well, if you're gonna lay the wash over, a blue wash over the orange, you're gonna have like a greenish tinge to it, and violet, different colors that will come, that's what you get with transparent watercolor that you don't get with any other thing, so.
Do you use the tip of your, the brush handle to do stuff?
Yeah,
What's that called?
I don't know, just scratch out, you just scratch it out, yeah. Yeah, because I think I carry a sneaker knife. So if you get it to a certain point and you want to scratch it out, you can just. Scratch it out. I think one thing those ladies do, they don't follow the rules at all.
Yeah.
They just do what they want, and they are the ones who are leading the way. And like people like Burridge, so all these snooty watercolorists that don't, do that kind of thing, they're. Yeah, right. If you like the effect,
This is probably heresy. Is there any watercolor techniques being done on computer? Have they figured out how to do that?
No. I mean, that's a totally different thing, right? I think
But
that.
John Robinson does that, he paints.
Betty Deepy has started doing that too.
I mean, where'd you draw the line between art and technology, I mean, it's a creative medium, but is it painting,
Saw an interesting special on PBS last night about Joel Santori, the photographer, National Geographic.
Yeah.
He is one of the only photographers that films for them anymore that actually uses film. Everybody's gone to digital.
Oh, he uses film?
He uses film, 500 rolls is what he goes through about on a sheet.
See, I like, to see a painting and say, well, how did they get that effect, What did they do to do that?
We decided to avoid that debate because it was starting to heat up with the painters saying digital wasn't art and the digital, so we finally said, you can hang anything you like, because we have always said before, no prints on the wall.
Right.
Well, a giclée is a print, and
Yeah.
What they're doing, they're just tapping a key and they can get multiple prints.
But I know a lot of the
So we
artists
just
that
decided
Pelican
to skip the whole argument and just say
Yeah.
you can hang anything you like.
As long as you pay your dues.
There you
I
go.
pay your money.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of the people were quite upset, I think,
Oh, I like what you're doing a whole lot.
Yeah, and that's when,
Very pleasing
I
to
think that's when
learn.
you kind of become like within yourself and you start to create,
Well, before, that's how you paint. Everything was in little areas, but now you really blended it and mixed it,
Yeah,
and
it's a
your eye
process that takes
flows
time.
right through the canvas now, which of course happens as you're getting closer to the end.
anyway. That's it, I'm done.
Well, now that doesn't look like the flower you started with.
No, it never does, that's true. But no, I know a lot of people were upset, I think, when they give them digital pictures, you know, awards. And I think they should be a different category myself, you know.
Too.
You do? Yeah, I do too.
But we shouldn't be so mean that we don't call it art.
No, it
Really.
is still a
But
creative
really.
process, but it's not painting, you know.
Barbara, did you put any acrylic on that yellowy looking one?
Not acrylic, it's the gouache. Gouache.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like gouache, you know, I mean, I like what it does. Because I like solid color, but I like everything. So,
But you can
And did you simultaneously copy this? Now we can give her video.
Well, I can't guarantee it. We will soon find out.
Politician.
he's good.
Dear, here is some pictures that one of the ladies found in one of your
Oh,
books. She
my-
thought you
oh,
might
yeah,
have been
my
looking for
children.
that.
My dog, my children.
Well, thank you again.
No, you're welcome. I mean, I don't know if I've helped anybody.
You've helped.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
See, what I'll probably do is take it home, study it, see what it needs to be done, what needs to be done to it.
Are you planning any more green in there?
I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'll probably pull it back together with some big shapes. I'll probably redefine it again, put some big shapes in it, but this will show up underneath it, and that's what makes those paintings so complex and so interesting. You know, that Layer Society, they have a book, Dashanka has it, and it's at the gallery. And it's Society of Layers or something, but they have that where they just layer over layer over layer, whether it be collage or watercolor or whatever, you know.
By using washes?
Yeah, different washes.
And it doesn't get dull?
Well, you know, I think if you're doing, you know, one thing I've learned is, you know, I used to get a lot of really muddy paintings. Cool paint, you know, you just keep your cools and your warms. You know, if you put it cool over warm and over and over again, you're gonna get mud. So you just keep to cool or warm colors. So you could put over this, you could put a cool color over this, and it's not gonna get muddy. But,
Thank you again.
oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, we have to dash.
Good.
Thank you.
By the way,
very much.
our
You're
next
welcome.
demo is going to be the elusive
Alex.
Doris Dahlgren.
Yay! Wow. How was
After
that?
20 years, I ground it down.
It was that or be president next year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,